To Kevin Campbell. Kev, good morning.
How you doing, Kev? Happy New Year, mate.
Morning, guys. Good morning. Happy New Year to you and to all the listeners.
You sound very bright and bushy-tailed. Clearly, you stayed in last night, Kev.
Yeah, listen. I don't do all that madness much anymore.
Now,
it becomes more of a daytime. Yeah, but actually, Ray, we didn't because we were too busy playing, weren't we?
Well, that's not what he's telling me, Kev. Honestly, he was slaughtering you in the last break.
Christmas parties Kev used to organise, and they're superb. They were.
Christmas. The Christmas do's. Yeah, I still organise them. Yeah, I must admit that one. The New Year's was never a good time for fast ballers, was it? So.
No, indeed. Kev, listen, appreciate your time, matey. Look, it's been a really strange time for Arsenal. Going into December, Arsenal was sitting pretty. Things were looking very good. Hasn't quite turned out to be the December that every Arsenal fan was hoping about, and actually it's ended pretty poorly.
Yeah, it has, Jace, if I'm honest. Look, I'm concerned, but obviously there's no panic. After beating Brighton at home, which tends to be a bogey game for us, Arsenal came through that with flying colours. De Zerbi was talking, Arsenal seemed to be the best team in the league. Ever since then, our mojo's gone. We've lost it. We're well beaten by West Ham the other night. And then Fulham, fair play to them, they give us a hell of a game and they ended up turning us over. We just didn't look as fluid or as dangerous as we usually do. But do you know what? It does happen. Blips happen. And what day is it today? It's the 1st of Jan. So you can imagine the fan base are going to be looking at all the opportunities and potential signings that could happen. I think Arsenal just need a spark, and someone's got to spark it.
Kev, you can argue no one really at the top has stood out. I know Villa are having a great season at the moment, second place, but Liverpool in patches not played great. But they got results. Man City have lost 3 games this season and not played great in certain games. So everyone has had that little bit of a blip, but certainly yesterday, what I saw the game, Kev, is a little bit concerning was the energy levels. And I'm thinking, come on, lads, 1-1, step it up a little bit, get that second goal, and you could probably go and win the game. But sort of they let Fulham come onto them too much, dropped a little bit deeper. And fair play to Fulham, they really, really played well. But I think it was a massive game yesterday. After losing the game, Kev, it's all about the next game, isn't it? How you bounce back, and they didn't bounce back that well.
Yeah, you're right, Ray. You're expecting a reaction. After Fulham equalised, you're expecting Arsenal to really start putting the pressure on. Arsenal controlled possession, but without being really creative, without being really dangerous for Fulham, and kind of played into Fulham's hands because Fulham then could play on the counter-attack. And it was a bit worrying how Fulham scored their goal. Got a bit lucky with a few ricochets in the box. Well finished, but again, you're expecting Arsenal to respond. Arsenal couldn't respond. Made changes as well. Difference makers coming on, Jesus and Trossard, and they didn't really do anything as well. So, as I said, there's concerns there for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. I'm sure he's going to read the riot act to them at the training ground, but I'm sure there's going to be no panic.
Kev, the transfer window's open as we know, and even going into December, there was lots of speculation about Arsenal needed a striker. I think that probably underlines it in caps as well, because you looked at some of the chances that were created, not just yesterday, but in previous games. Is that where you would concentrate if Arsenal are to get themselves back into this title race? Was that where you would concentrate, Jan?
Well, I think it's the 3 areas of the team. If I'm honest with you, Jace. Look, defensively, Arsenal can be a little bit light. So you probably need a player who can play multiple positions there. Midfield, we still think still needs a little tweak here and there. Somebody to come in that midfield. We're not seeing Thomas Partey for most of the season.
True, yeah.
And, he's somebody you could say, we haven't missed him because Declan Rice has been so confident and so comfortable in there. But now is the times where you do miss Thomas Partey, and always somebody up front to have a bit of variety, somebody where Saka could get down the wing and cross the ball and somebody could come in and head it in. Somebody to patrol the 6-yard box, because it seems like we don't have that. I'm seeing Eddie Nketiah outside the box most of the time. I'm seeing Jesus outside the box. when really we should have the body inside the box. So a striker, I think it should be one of the priorities, if possible.
Kev, I've got to mention Everton. Obviously, a poor performance against Wolves. I don't think they had a shot on target. The whole game, lost 3-0. But the last 3 games, they've lost all 3 games. And, they just be looking over their shoulders now. Luton have shown that little bit of spirit. Burnley, Sheffield United are picking up certain points here and there. So they just got to be careful, Everton, haven't they? I know they had that 10-point deduction, which they could get points back. But they just got to they just need another result quickly, don't they, now?
Yeah, they do, Ray. And I think... a lot of it comes down to Doucouré not being there. Doucouré proved to be a really big player. When they're winning games, he's a really big player because he knits that midfield to attack so well. But you know what? Everton ain't a one-man team. The team performed. They played pretty well against most of those teams. Saturday was a write-off. I've got to say it was the poorest Everton performance I've seen in a while. But again, got to dust yourself down. Sometimes fatigue plays a part, etc. But I've got to give Wolves some credit. Wolves were outstanding. They really were outstanding, and didn't let Everton settle from minute 1 to the 90th, and thoroughly deserved that 3-0 win.
Kev, another one of your former clubs, Forest, they changed their manager. Steve Cooper's gone and Espirito Santo has come in. And the last 2 games in particular, I have to say, especially against United, they deserved that win. The upturn in the form that they've shown is, again, just goes to show that new manager bounce could happen.
Isn't it crazy, this football game? A new manager comes in and the same players...
Yeah, I know.
Performing in such a different way. Maybe sometimes it's messages, sometimes it's a new voice. We've all been there, guys, in the dressing room when a new manager's come in. But Nottingham Forest, the last couple of games have been absolutely great. Chris Wood was outstanding at St James's Park, Newcastle, got his hat-trick. And then, obviously, to play Manchester United at home, get a goal up and then get pegged back. And then, really, the will to win there. I think Nottingham Forest wanted it more than United. And to come up with a 2-1 victory to ease a lot of fears. Nuno Espirito Santo's done a great job for the first 2 games, and the fans are bouncing. The fans are bouncing in Nottingham right now.